I'm gonna go through my build. I'm gonna go through the gear. The first thing is the Air of Perdition. It's gonna be the helmet. You're looking for critical strike chance. Well, I think everything can just roll itself, but you want the core skills to be what do you call it? I can't think of it. The greater affix that hits there. You want a masterwork resolve stacks on it. The next piece of gear is overcharge. Your storm skill damage makes enemies vulnerable for 4 seconds. You deal whatever percent increased damage to vulnerable enemies. You're looking for willpower, maximum life, resists all elements, and ranks defensive skills. We use, depending on how the build is set up, or your build is set up, use both bulwark and cyclone armor, so ranks the defensive skills is gonna be good there. For your gloves, you're gonna want unsung aesthetics reps. On here, you're looking for attack speed, critical strike chance, willpower, and maximum life. You want to temper lightning damage on it. With these gloves, lightning storm gains 1 additional strike each time it grows, deals bonus damage. For your pants, you're going to want debilitating toxins. You gain 22, or you gain X% damage reduction, and poison enemies deal 15% less damage to you. We are poisoning a lot, so it helps increase damage reduction there. And the stats you're looking for are willpower, max life, resistance to all elements, and armor. You want to also get resolve stacks, maximum resolve stacks on here for your temper. For your boots, I went with Great Storm. Lightning damage has up to 15 chance to grant a stack of ferocity. You gain X% damage reduction while you have ferocity. This build works really good with ferocity stacks and increases damage with ferocity. It also works good with resolve stacks, increasing damage reduction per stack. Or not damage reduction, increasing armor per stack. On boots, you're looking for willpower, maximum life, resistance to all elements, movement speed. Probably not movement speed. Probably go something else there. But then you can also you can also temper your movement speed there. For your weapon, we're gonna go with a two-hander. I find it best having the channeling aspect of channeling on here, which while channeling a skill, all damage is increased by whatever percent it is. You are looking for weapon damage, willpower, critical strike damage multiplier, and lightning damage multiplier. Couldn't find really anything good with lightning damage multiplier on it yet, but I'm hoping to find something soon. Then I also tempered critical strike chance on here just to increase my critical strike chance, and then you're socketing it with lightning damage multiplier, so topazes. With your amulet, you want the, I don't even know how to say this, Malefic Crescent. Very important amulet. It pretty much keeps Blood Howl uptime is infinite with it. The biggest thing you're looking for is storm skills, which I got on it. I screwed up and I used the cube to add, transfigured it without adding a socket, so I am out of a socket spot for this. Don't do what I did, but anyways, yeah, you're looking for ranks of storm skills, critical strike chance, maximum life, and willpower. I did overpower damage per overpower stack just to kind of see how it went. Probably go with critical hit chance or critical hit damage or lightning damage multiplier on the amulet itself. For your first ring, it's going to be aspects of crushing. While fortified, you deal X% increased damage. For this, you're looking for willpower, maximum life, critical sight chance, and ranks to storm skills. I mean, I got willpower and critical sight damage. Also, cooldown is good. And then for your last ring, you are looking for your Ring of Starless Skies. Big thing here is getting core skills and attack speed. Those are two huge things for this build. And then tempering storm damage onto it. Go over the talismans. We are using the red, or what's it called? Russia the Red Wolf Moon set talismans. This is gonna multiply your damage by a lot while you're in werewolf form. The first two set is while in werewolf form, you periodically smell dread in enemies marking them. Your werewolf skills deal 50% bonus damage to marked enemies. Attacking a marked enemy grants you 1 second of bloodhound, increasing your movement speed and attack speed by 20%. Killing a marked enemy instead grants 2 seconds. 3 set pieces gain 20% damage reduction. While in werewolf form, you heal for 70% of any damage taken over 3 seconds. And then the 5th set bonus is what allows you to essentially teleport. When Bloodhound Hunt exceeds 40 seconds, you explode in a fatal rage for 10 seconds, allowing all of your werewolf skills to dash you towards your target and dealing 250% bonus damage. Killing enemies extends the duration of fatal rage by 1 second. For your unique talisman, you're looking for Dirge of Irida. I think I'm saying that. This increases your damage by quite a bit, and then when you're making enemies vulnerable, it's doubling that damage, and it's giving you spirit back. So it's all around, I would say, probably best in slot for your unique charm. If you can't find this charm, other things to look for would be like Godslayer Crown, which is really good. When you attempt to incapacitate an enemy, you mark them and all surrounding enemies, pulling them in, dealing 30 to 40% increased damage. If you're having spirit issues, Mother's Embrace is really good. I think, what was the other one? Mother's Embrace and Tybalt's Will really helps out with spirit management issues. On these, for the stats, you're looking for anything to increase your skills and all stats. I kind of went for all skills first, so something perfect would be like plus nature magic, whereas so plus, if you would have like +3 nature magic skills, and then looking for all stats or something to help out with resistances. Next we'll go over the skill tree. The main skill we're using here is Lightning Storm. When we use Lightning Storm, we are trying to increase our stacks of ferocity, because for each additional stack of ferocity, it increases a lightning strike, and then we can couple that with Omni Bolt. All of your lightning strikes are combined into one powerful attack at the target location. Size is increased by 15%, and damage is increased by 50% per lightning streak. So we're increasing our ferocity, we're increasing our additional strikes to a maximum of 4. So we're multiplying our Omni Bolt by 4 stacks. So what have we, well, 200%. It is very important that we make this a werewolf skill, so we stay in werewolf form. I went with movement speed, just to kind of help out between not having my full set bonus when it's not procced. You can go for minimum strikes if you want. I don't know which one's better. I haven't really tested it that much. Defensive skills, you're going with Earthen Bulwark. We're not assigning this on to our whatever you want to call it, because this automatically procs with the ruins Nagu K. Quite a premium. With this, we almost have an unlimited uptime of Earthen Bulwark. I went with Fortifying Healing to increase my fortification. Probably go with this, but I don't know, it just made more sense going with Fortifying Healing because this is almost always up anyways. I went with Travertine Bulwark. This is really important because every time this procs, which is pretty consistent, it's giving you 3 stacks of resolve, and then it explodes around you. I went with Overpowered just to help increase my damage, and then it also couples with the overpower damage I have here. Put points into Bloodhowl. Bloodhowl is also not on my skill buttons right now. It's not really needed. It's almost used unlimited. I went with healing. For 5 seconds after casting Bloodhowl, heal for 1% of your maximum life each time you hit an enemy. You're hitting enemies quite a bit, so that's really good. If you're also still having these spirit issues, you can use Spirit Howl. Instead of restoring life, you can restore spirit. For every 1% of life, that would be healed, which is really good because it's keeping the uptime. Like, Bloodhowl was always up because of the amulet that what is it, Crescent? Alphishit Crescent. Bloodhowl is automatically cast when you shapeshift into a werewolf in every 4 seconds while in your werewolf form. You gain 60% increased bonus damage for 4 seconds whenever Bloodhowl is triggered. So every 4 seconds, it's casted and is up for 4 seconds. It's unlimited uptime on Bloodhowl. If you're not having spirit issues, you go with Berserking Howl. It's just going to increase your damage. And then Bloodhowl grants you unstoppable for 2 seconds. I didn't really need the movement speed, so I didn't go with movement speed. These are extremely important. I went with all my pets here, and then I'm trying to increase as many companions as I have here. I mean, that's just an additive thing. It's not really super important here. But here, all Wars upgrades are increased by 100%. and then gaining 2 additional wolf companions. So altogether I have 4 wolf companions. Raven didn't go anything up here because it just doesn't really help me at all anywhere. This really isn't, you wouldn't even need to go here either. I mean, increases your companions, which is great, but not really necessarily needed. And then Raven's attack grant 1 stack of resolve once every 2 seconds. So we're having what? We have how many ravens? 3 ravens. Should be able to gain multiple stacks of resolve pretty quickly. I would go with Raven Flock actually. That's pretty good additive for resolve stacks and keeping your 25% armor per stack. Your resolve stacks should go up pretty fast with that. Poison Creeper I went with to keep my Fortify up pretty quick. No, I swapped that because of Bulwark gives me Fortify pretty quick. If you don't want to go with that Fortify, you want to go with the duration up here. You want to increase the duration and 60% maximum life. You could swap this and grants 10% fortify every 3 seconds. You'll be fortified pretty quick with that. I went with cooldown reduction. Yeah, I don't really think either of them really mattered that much. And then get an additional poison creeper for companion. And then I just went with the toxic vegetation. I just like to have the aura around me. You could go with any of these really. I'd probably go with either Germinate or the one that I have on toxic vegetation. Then Hurricane's pretty important. This is on my skill bar. Not putting any points into Hurricane, just 1. Got all my points from my gear. Used movement speed on it. Didn't really need the critical strike chance on Hurricane because you're not really doing too much damage on Hurricane. I mean, you could. That'd be interesting. I might have to try that. If you want to go more damage instead of the movement speed, then I'm going with Derecho. I think that's how you say it. Hurricane has no cooldown and deals 100% bonus damage. Hurricane costs 15 spirit per second while active. Casts Hurricane again to top it off. Now it's a core skill. Now I'm getting a bunch of core skill points towards Hurricane. This is probably the most important part of Hurricane, is weaken. Enemies affected by Hurricane are weakened. Keeps up your survivability. If you are having spirit manage issues, do not go with Derecho. I would go with something else, probably Rapid Intensification. Haven't really played around with Twin Storms. That would be interesting. Might swap my movement speed for critical strike chance, just to kind of see how it goes. I think either of them are good. If you want to go faster, obviously go movement speed. If you want to do more damage, go critical strike chance. Petrify is not on my skill bar, but we are using it. It's pretty important on the build. It increases critical strike damage that you're doing to enemies, and then it's also every time it procs, it's giving you 100 spirit. And then I went with Greater Petrify so I can have it sooner, increasing the duration. And then every time I petrify, I gain 4 stacks of resolve. 1 additional stack of resolve is granted if an enemy is killed while petrified. And then resolve bonuses for petrify may exceed the maximum, which is all around good. Now to get petrify, we're using runes Igni Yam. So with Igni, Stores offering every 0 0.3 seconds, and then I cast a non-basic skill, which I don't have a basic skill, but normally I'll cast my Cyclone Armor, and then I'll proc my my Petrify. Now while I'm going through and I'm trying to Petrify and I cast my Cyclone Armor and it doesn't proc, usually I have to wait a little bit longer, and then you can use one of your companion skills. It don't really matter. Or you can toggle on and off your Hurricane. Either way, that's going to proc it. For your boons, I went 15 reduced damage from elites. You could probably go something else here, especially if you're having spirit management issues. You probably should go with Gifts of Stag. Gain 5 spirit every second. Yeah, I don't need any more movement speed on this. Went with Avian Wrath, and swooping attacks, attack speed, and critical strike damage is super important. You could swap, I would say, attack speed for maximum life if you're having health issues. I went with bolster defensive skills, gain 40% increased cooldown reduction rate while you are fortified. This rate is split amongst each equipped defensive skill, while the only equipped defensive skill you should have is Cyclone Armor. And keeping that up is super important. Cyclone Armor helps a lot with resistances and just overall general defenses. It's really, really good. Did I miss that? I feel like I missed going over that. I did. Yeah, so we have Cyclone Armor on our bar. Increase all resistances. So I'm going with Cyclone Armor's radius increased by 50%. And reversal, the active winds are reverse, pulling enemies towards you. This is really great. In addition, the area effect is increased by 30%, so this is really great for pulling all enemies in and just doing your lightning bolt damage to all the enemies that you just pulled in. Resistance passive gain an additional 20% bonus to all resistances, so like keeping this up is really important to keep your resistances and general defenses up. Overload. Go with Overload. Lucky hit. Storm skills have up to a 20% chance to grant 1 stack of Ferocity. Storm skills gain 50% increased cast speed while you have Ferocity. Again, Ferocity increases our attack speed by 5% per stack. This affects X up to 4 times and each lasts for 4 seconds. And then increasing our Ferocity increases on our skill tree, increases the amount of strikes Lightning Storm has. Gain 1 additional Lightning Strike for them, or each stack of Ferocity also grants 1 additional Lightning Strike. Your Lightning Strikes are just becoming multiplicative with Ferocity. Mercenaries went with Aldkin. Went with Blasphemous Faith, Haunt, Terrify, possibly making enemies vulnerable, increasing area 6 seconds, slowing enemies within by 40%, reducing their damage dealt by 20%, and then Paranora, languishing enemies take 15% increase damage from you. Just trying to increase overall damage. With my reinforcement, I went with Rahir, using Bastion, and then casting it when I become injured, so I'm not dying as much when I do die. Paragon. Starter board, going with Werewolf, increases for every 5 willpower increases damage by 5%, 5.6% while in werewolf form. Additional bonus, you gain 15% damage reduction while in werewolf form. Trying to keep up that defensive damage reduction. The next board, the first board that we get, I went with Lust of Carnage. Critical strikes with werewolf skills restore 2 spirit and deal 70% increased damage. All our skills are becoming werewolf skills by having Lightning Storm be a werewolf skill. Went with Keeper here, grants whatever percent bonus to all rare nodes within range, and then you and your companions deal 15% increased non-physical damage, so anything that's non-physical. Getting that bonus here, werewolf damage, and then critical strike damage with willpower here. The second board, or third board, however you want to call it, I went with Ancestral Guidance. Ancestral Guidance is always a really good board to go with. After spending 75 spirit, you deal 40% increased damage for 5 seconds. Your ultimate skills deal 1% increased damage per spirit when cast. This is really good. Here you want to make sure you get your spirit on kill stuff, and then also went with Earth and Sky, increasing my technically my storm damage, but any nature damage. Grants the 276 bonus to all magic nodes. Nature magic skills deal 18% increased damage to crowd controlled or vulnerable enemies. Getting the core damage here and the overall damage here. Next board, I went with Thunderstruck. Storm skills deal 70% increased damage and 5% critical strike chance. All are literally using only lightning, unless you proc. Once you proc, I mean, Earth petrifies an Earth skill, but mainly we're using lightning and I can't think of it. We're using lightning strike. It's a storm skill, and we're just increasing our damage there. We are using Spirit here. For every 5 dexterity purchased within range, you deal 12.1% increased critical strike damage. Critical strikes increase the damage an enemy takes from you by 3% for 20 seconds up to 15%. The last and final board, I went with Constricting Tentacles. Deal 40% increased damage against poison enemies. Lucky hit. Nature magic skills have up to 40% chance to poison the enemy. So all our skills are, in general, most of the damage skills you're using are all nature magic skills. So we almost have a 50% chance to poison an enemy. 40% increase damage to poison enemies. So almost half of our hits are going to poison enemies. So yeah, getting that extra 40% extra damage is nice. Here I went with Fulminate. For every 5 dexterity purchased within range, you deal 6.3% increased lightning damage. Additional bonus, you deal 12% increased lightning damage to both healthy and injured enemies. I'll showcase the build. I'll do it 11 pit 90.